All right, now we are on well into Pirki Avot, chapters of the fathers, and we're now in the 4th chapter and the 14th Mishnah in the 4th chapter. The 4th chapter has in it, just one moment, 20, here it is. Some are pretty long. 22 Mishnahs, 22. And we're getting near to the end. Some of them are a little bit longer. It's a custom by Jews, religious Jews, to read and learn Pirki Avot. One chapter every Shabbat after the last prayer of Shabbat, after Mincha. And some only learn from Passover until Shavuot, 7 weeks. And there's others, Chabad is among them, that learns until Rosh Hashanah. So that's what we're doing. Let's go. In any case, they're very beautiful messages, and they're relevant to all mankind. Rav Nahorai said, usually Rav Nahorai is Rabbi Meir, right? Havi gola lamakom Torah, you should be exiled to a place of learning Torah. So if you have no one to teach you, so you should be exiled to a place of learning Torah, and don't say that it will come after you. Your friends will establish it in your hands. We'll see on your own understanding, don't rely. Okay, what's this got to do, all of them together? Let's learn the Bar Tanur, he'll explain. Evi gola lamakom Torah, you should be exiled to a place of Torah. What does it mean? If there is no one to teach you where you are. There's no Talmud Chachamim where you are, so you should leave the place where you are and go to a place to learn Torah. Go to a yeshiva. Right now there's yeshivas all over the world. You can go to yeshiva. Al tomar shitavo acharecha, and don't say, no, I'll wait for some Chabadnik or someone that'll come to my country, my city, and he'll teach me. They're all over the place. I'll just take it easy. Don't do that. You uproot yourself and go and learn Torah. Don't wait for it to come to you. Especially if you have a business or something, you think, I can't take time for business. Take time, close the business, go and learn Torah, even for a week, for a month, for a day. But don't stay where you don't say Torah will come to me. Nowadays, you have the internet, so it's a lot easier, right? So the Torah will come to you, but at least turn it on, right? Go to a place of learning, at least take a couple hours off of your work every day and at least turn on the channel and watch something of learning Torah. Okay. Don't say that my friend will establish the Torah in my hands. What does this mean? It says, don't say that, listen, I'm going to sit over here. I'll send my son or someone, and they'll go learn Torah somewhere else, and I'll do business, and he'll come back and he'll teach me. It says, don't say that he'll come back. Don't rely that your friends, that they'll go to a yeshiva, they'll learn Torah, and then they'll come back and they'll teach you. No, you yourself have to go, because it's not similar when you hear Torah from a pupil to hear it from the rabbi himself. One explanation. And another explanation. This is a positive statement. This is a new statement. Your friends, only with friends can Torah be established in your hands. Right? This is not connected to what it says before. A new statement. Your friends establish the Torah by you. You have to have partners in learning, and don't rely on your own intelligence. You have to learn together with somebody else. So let's see. Why do I say you should go to a place of learning Torah? Why? Because there's other people, and they will learn together with you. That even if you are a genius and you're very sharp, and you know that a lot of Torah already, but the Torah will not remain in your hands unless you learn it with others. Because when you learn with others, so they ask questions, and sometimes you could be making mistakes, that you should go back and argue with them. That's what it says. On your own understanding, don't rely. Learn with others. In Judaism, it is very essential in Judaism to ask questions. Judaism welcomes questions. You just have to be ready to hear answers, right? And not only that, you can ask questions about God. You can ask questions you want. The more questions, the better. Sometimes there's deep questions that you're not going to get an answer to. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't ask questions. Asking questions is essential. The whole Talmud is based on questions and answers. All right, next Mishnah. Rabbi Yanai Omar. Ein biyadenu, this is really deep. Ein biyadenu, it is not in our possession. Lo mishalvas arashoim, the comfort and the success of the evil people. Va'af lo miyasuri tzadikim, and the suffering and the, I want to call it the failure of the righteous people. Rabbi Yanai. You look in the world and you see the evil people are succeeding. Don't let it get you down. This is secrets of God. Let's have a look. Bartanura. Ein biyadenu, what does it mean? It's not in our hands. It says, in other words, this is not known to us. Why is it that evil people succeed? And why is it that righteous people are often cast down and suffer? King David. Open up the book of Psalms. You'll see there was no holier person than King David. No one more devoted to God than King David. And no one suffered more than King David. Read it in English. You think in Judaism they would hide such a book. Terrible book, right? Telling you this righteous, holy person, King David, and he's always crying out to God, God, help me. I believe only in you. I think only in you. You are my rock. You are my fortress. You are my father. You're my helper, my friend, my ever help me. And you see, it doesn't work. You turn to the next Psalms, and he's saying, God, the evil people are after me. I have more enemies than the hairs of my head. We don't understand this. And King David also didn't understand it, but it didn't get him down. He understood that this is somehow or that this is the plan. Another explanation. We do not, at this time, when we're in exile, lo mishalva v'sheket sheragil HaKodesh Baruch Hu latet l'reshoyim kedei l'tardom me'olam haba. Says this, we don't have the va'af lo miyasurim amiyuchadim l'tzadikim she'em yasurim shel ava she'en ben bittul Torah. What does it mean? Nowadays, says the Bartanur, we've gone out of Rishoyim she'en lanu shalva she'yesh lo Rishoyim. Now nobody has any peace nowadays. Ulechalal tzadikim lo iganu she'yasurim shalanu einam shala'ava ki yasurim tzadikim. What's he saying? Now we're in the time of exile. So now you can sort of explain. If it wasn't the time of exile, you could sort of explain. Like King David. King David was definitely not in the time of exile. But his suffering he accepted with great joy because he knew that it was directly from God. And for somehow or other it was benefiting the world, it was benefiting the whole mankind, it was fixing up the sin of Adam, whatever it was good. And what about the evil people that they were succeeding? They were the ones that were pursuing David, King David. He says, okay, I don't understand them either. There's some sort of a secret. He says, that's in the time of King David. Nowadays, it's really messed up. Nowadays, we don't have the peace. Everybody is without peace. Everyone is suffering in the time of exile. We're all, whether they're the righteous people, the evil people, everyone is suffering. Doesn't make any sense. And sometimes people, they have success, just doesn't make it's not commensurate to any sort of plan. So it says, now that we're in exile, this is what the Bartanura says. Now that we're in exile, everything is confused. We have no possible way of discerning and understanding what's going on. That's what the Bartanura says. In Chabad, the teachings of Chabad do not allow us to justify the suffering of anybody. So we can't say an evil person is suffering, he deserved it, right? You can only suffer, except, God forbid, if you yourself, if I myself, God forbid, suffer, then I could say, listen, God knows what he's doing, right? But you can't go to someone else and say, listen, God knows what he's doing, that you're suffering, it's really a good thing. Unless he's a very close friend to you, And then you can say, listen, my friend, I'm praying that you should get better. But until that time, you should know for somehow or other, this must be for the good, right? But you can never, ever justify the suffering of anyone else, unless it's a Nazi or a missionary or something like that. Okay. Havi Zanav La'aray. Oh, Havi Maktin. So he said, did we get to this? Oh, next. Rabbi Masya ben Charash said, Havi Maktin b'shalom kol adam. You should proceed with hello, peace to everyone. And you should be a tail to lions and not a head of foxes. In other words, be the lowest of the great people is better than to be a big shot among low people. Let's see what he has to say. Precede everyone with peace, even a non-Jew in the marketplace. And you should be a tail to lions. In other words, try to cling to people who are greater than you and be subservient to them. V'lo rosh l'shoalim, and don't look around for people who are less than you, that you can feel like you're a big shot, that you're greater than them. As we will continue, God willing, tomorrow. Hope to see you tomorrow, 8:15 in the morning. We learn Chassidut. You can look it up in YouTube, today's classes and past classes for the last a year and a half. Have a good day with Mashiach now.